to go find Suzanne.
3 words. Not a speech, not some polished statement, not a PR script cooked up by a whole team. Just 3 raw words, caught shaky on a phone in some random hallway, from a woman whose hands couldn't stay still and whose face said everything before she even spoke. And for a second, the whole internet just froze. I just want to go home. That's it. No extras, no clean ending. Nothing dressed up for clicks. And if you've seen that clip, you already get why it blew up so fast. Hundreds of thousands of shares in just hours. Like people couldn't scroll past it even if they tried. Because this doesn't feel like content at all. It doesn't feel staged or planned or even meant to be seen. It feels like real pain breaking through. Like a woman reliving the worst moment of her life and not even trying to hide it. Her name is Erika Kirk, and Saturday night changed everything. Wrong place, wrong second, and nothing about her life looked the same after that. Let's make one thing clear right now, before anything else gets twisted or turned into headlines. Erika Kirk is not some symbol, not a mascot, not a talking point for anyone. She didn't sign up for this. Not the grief, not the spotlight, not cameras in her face, and definitely not living through it all over again. 7 months ago, her husband was shot and killed on a college campus, right out in the open, in front of people who couldn't believe what they were seeing. Charlie Kirk, one of the most talked about conservative media figures of his time, was killed at Utah Valley University while students watched. And Tyler Robinson is now in custody, facing capital murder charges. And what did Erika do after all that? She buried her husband. She stood in front of packed churches and delivered eulogies that had people shaken to their core. She sat beside the Vice President of the United States, right in the middle of all that power and pressure. Then she stepped up and took control of Turning Point USA, sitting in a chair no one should ever be forced into like that. She didn't disappear. She pushed forward nonstop for 7 straight months. Erika Kirk turned grief into something that looked like purpose, like a mission she couldn't walk away from. Every time she showed up in public, it was tight, controlled, and deliberate. No cracks, no chaos, just composure. Whether she wanted it or not, she became one of the most recognized widows in American politics, with every move watched and every word picked apart. And then Saturday hit.
Gunmen armed with a shotgun, handgun, and knives rushed past a security checkpoint, and agents opened fire, as did the suspect.
And everything shifted again. You have to really understand what the White House correspondent's dinner is before you can even grasp what she walked into that night. This isn't some casual meetup or a quick networking hour. Once a year, the Washington Hilton turns into the most packed room of political power in the entire country. The president, the vice president, top officials, and the full force of the national press, all in one space, every camera locked in, every move captured. Black ties, bright lights, and zero room to hide for even a second. By design, that room is a high-value target. Every powerful name, every major figure, all in one place. Erika Kirk walked in as a guest, nothing more. The plan was simple. Sit down, shake hands, be seen, play the role for the night. That was it. But that plan didn't even make it through the evening. Here's what actually happened. And this matters. We're sticking only to what's been confirmed. Because just hours after something like this, rumors spread fast and get people lost in the wrong story. Reports came in of gunshots, either inside or right near the venue. And within seconds, Secret Service moved in, fast and sharp, exactly how they're trained to react. President was pulled away from his table immediately. Melania was escorted out. Vice President Vance, gone. Senior officials cleared out just as fast. That room, packed with around 3,000 people who had spent weeks trying to get inside, flipped in seconds. It went from the most exclusive event in the country to a place people were just trying to get out of safely. Early word came out just as fast. The attack was stopped. No senior officials were harmed. That's the first official line, and it's important to treat it as early information because situations like this can change quickly as more details come in. But even with that official version, there's something it doesn't fully explain. Inside that ballroom, for a stretch of seconds, no one has fully pieced together yet. Something happened that people are still trying to understand. Nobody knew what was happening in that moment. Nobody knew who got hit, if anyone was hit, or if it was even over. Nobody had answers. Just that sound, loud and sharp, cutting through the room, and people reacting before they could even think. For most in that ballroom, it was pure panic. But for Erika Kirk, that sound wasn't just fear. It was memory hitting all over again. Now, this is where you really need to pay attention, because something here isn't being talked about enough, and it matters more than people think. Before Saturday night, before the Hilton, there was Georgia. Erika Kirk was supposed to show up at a major Turning Point USA event at the University of Georgia. Big stage, big crowd, J.D. Vance on the lineup. One of those headline events the whole organization builds around. And then she canceled. Her own statement posted publicly made it clear. She said she was following her security team's recommendations. Serious ones. She made it known that after everything her family had already gone through, she wasn't about to ignore any warnings. She thanked the Georgia chapter, wished them success, and stayed away from that stage. Now hold on to that for a second. A widow, connected to a high-profile killing, pulls out of a major public event because of security concerns. And just days later, she's being rushed out of a packed ballroom after reports of gunfire, visibly shaken, saying she just wants to go home. You can call that coincidence if you want. Some people will, no question. But it raises real questions that shouldn't be brushed off so quickly. Was that Georgia cancellation just careful planning? Or was it tied to something more specific? Were there warnings behind the scenes that never made it public? Did her security team pick up on signals that nobody else saw at the time? Those are the kinds of details people are starting to look at closely, because moments like this don't exist in a vacuum. And sometimes, the timeline matters more than anything else. We're not saying there was something bigger going on. We're saying the question is there, and ignoring it doesn't make it disappear. Anyone acting like there's nothing to look at here just isn't paying close enough attention. Watch that clip again. She's not even aware of the camera. Or, if she is, she's far past caring at that point. She's moving down a hallway, security tight on both sides, head lowered, eyes full, trying to get through the moment. That's not performance. She's not putting on grief for cameras, not fixing her posture for headlines. That's a real reaction. Her body going into full alarm, every instinct firing at once, responding the only way it knows how. I just want to go home. For 7 straight months, Erika Kirk stood in front of crowds, cameras, and pressure that never let up. She held herself together, piece by piece. She gave speeches, led an organization, and sat in rooms packed with powerful figures without showing cracks. And then, in just 3 words, caught in a random hallway on someone else's phone, all of that broke open. Not because she's weak, because she's human. Because the sound she heard in that ballroom is the same sound her body now recognizes instantly, tied to the worst moment of her life. When something like that hits again, the body reacts before the mind can even process it. There's no delay, no filter, just instinct. That video isn't political, no matter how people try to frame it. It's human, raw, and unfiltered. And that's exactly why it spread so fast. So now the real question starts to surface. The one people in power haven't said out loud yet. What does Erika Kirk do next? Does she step back now? Does Turning Point USA start pulling back from the spotlight, lowering its public presence after everything that's happened? And more importantly, does she start asking herself those hard questions, quietly, when no one else is around? Is that role, that chair she stepped into, really worth what it keeps taking from her? She hasn't said anything yet. No official statement, no post, no explanation. Just that one clip and those 3 words. But moments like this shift things. Whether people admit it or not even the first tragedy alone. This right here feels like a turning point in a different way. Because this is the second time. The sound again, the rush, the fear, the sudden evacuation, the hallway, the tears. Everything hitting at once. And this time, She didn't plan for anyone to see it. The first time people push through on adrenaline, on purpose, on momentum. You keep moving because stopping means facing everything all at once. But the second time is different. The body remembers what it felt like before, what it cost, and it reacts before logic can even catch up. That's when the questions start, whether you're ready for them or not. Erika Kirk walked into the Washington Hilton that night, known as one of the most resilient figures in political circles. But she walked out carrying something heavier, a moment the world wasn't supposed to see, a raw reaction that said everything without needing a speech. A woman saying, "I just want to go home." And this time, nobody can really question why. And here's where everything starts to shift in a way people can't ignore anymore. Because once a moment like that goes public, it doesn't just disappear. It lingers, it grows, and it starts shaping what comes next. Behind closed doors, conversations are already happening, even if nobody's stepping up to microphones yet. Advisors, security teams, people close to her. They're all looking at the same question from different angles. What changes now? What has to change after a night like that? Because this isn't just about one event anymore. It's about patterns, risks, and the reality of staying in spaces where the pressure never drops and the stakes stay high every single time she shows up. And then there's the public side of it. Support is pouring in, but so is attention. More eyes, more noise, more people trying to turn a personal moment into something bigger than it was ever meant to be. That kind of spotlight doesn't fade. It intensifies. So now everything sits in this uncertain space. No clear statement, no defined next move, just questions building in real time. Will she slow things down? Will she come back stronger and more visible than ever? Or does this moment draw a line she doesn't want to cross again? One thing is clear. After a night like that, nothing just goes back to normal. And the longer the silence lasts, the louder everything around it starts to feel. Because in moments like this, people don't just wait. They speculate, they analyze, they try to read between every line that hasn't even been written yet. In Washington, silence is never just silence. It gets filled fast, with opinions, with narratives, with people trying to decide what her next move should be before she's even had the space to decide for herself. Some are already saying she'll come back stronger, step right back into the spotlight like nothing happened. Others think this is the moment she pulls away, that the cost has finally become too real to ignore, and both sides are talking like they know. But the truth is, they don't. Because this isn't a strategy decision on paper. This is personal. And moments like that hallway clip don't come from calculation. They come from instinct. And instinct doesn't care about optics or expectations. So while the noise keeps building, there's a deeper reality sitting underneath all of it. Whatever she decides next isn't just going to shape her path. It's going to send a signal far beyond her about what it actually costs to stay in spaces like that. And right now, nobody knows which way that signal is going to go. And then there's the part nobody can measure or spin, the personal cost that doesn't show up in headlines. Because once the cameras turn away and the noise fades out, that's when everything real sets in. Moments like that don't just pass and disappear. They stick, they replay, they show up when it's quiet, when there's no crowd, no stage, no reason to hold it together for anyone else. That's the side people don't see. For months, Erika Kirk moved forward with focus, with structure, with purpose guiding every step. But something like Saturday night doesn't just interrupt that. It challenges it. It forces a pause, whether she wants one or not. Because now it's not just about continuing what she started. It's about deciding what's sustainable. What can she keep carrying? And what has already taken too much? And those aren't questions anyone else can answer for her, no matter how loud the outside voices get. At the same time, the world keeps watching, waiting for some kind of signal, some kind of clarity. But clarity doesn't always come fast after moments like that. Sometimes it takes distance, time, and space away from everything that caused it. So right now, everything sits in that unknown space again, where the next move isn't obvious, and the weight of it all is still settling in. And in the end, everything comes down to what she chooses, when the cameras aren't rolling and the noise finally dies down. Because this story, as loud as it feels right now, isn't really about headlines or viral clips. It's about a real person standing at a crossroads that nobody else can fully understand. Erika Kirk didn't ask to be in this position. She didn't ask for the spotlight, the pressure, or the moments that keep following her. But now that she's here, every next step carries weight, and people are watching whether she wants them to or not. Maybe she steps back and protects what she has left. Maybe she steps forward again, stronger, more guarded, more aware than ever. Or maybe she finds a completely different path that nobody sees coming. Right now, nobody knows. And that's the truth. What we do know is that one moment, 3 words, and a hallway clip changed the entire conversation overnight. Not because it was planned, not because it was polished, but because it was real. And people recognize real when they see it. So now it's your turn. What do you think happens next? Does she stay in the spotlight or walk away from it? If you've been following this story, make sure you like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to see it. And drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this conversation is far from over.